Sorry, Twitch. I'm waiting for my YouTube to come in using Restream. All right, we're on to it. Hey, all, welcome to my channel. If you haven't been to my channel before, or if you have, you know one of the things I made a New Year's resolution for 2023 that at least once a week I would do a live stream, and pretty much every week, at least I've done a live stream every week. And now that it's December 31st, the final week, technically speaking, for the year, I'm going to do my final live stream for the week finally. So I've actually kept up to I finally kept up on my end of the bargain of keeping up to my New Year's resolution. It's very rare for me to actually keep in track with my New Year's resolution, but in any case, I've done that. So welcome all. And also, by the way, for those that are on my YouTube, you're welcome to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you like my channel, like my video, like my content, please subscribe if you haven't. For those that are on Twitch, please follow or subscribe. I actually don't know too much about Twitch. Why I say it is because I was originally live streaming to my YouTube channel, and then I was using OBS as a thing. But then I saw that there was Restream, which allows me to stream as a plugin for OBS to stream to both YouTube and Twitch. So I figured, all right, let me do that. I don't do Instagram or any of the others, basically, or TikTok at this point. Well, I don't have enough followers on TikTok as well, too. But in any case, you're welcome to leave a comment in the comment section. For those, once the YouTube stream has become permanent, you're welcome to leave a comment in the comment section. I do respond to all my comments. I do read them, and I do respond to them when they warrant a response. Twitch, unfortunately, I don't see it. You can put a chat, but I can't see the chat, unfortunately, similar to YouTube, because for some reason OBS doesn't want to show me the chats. But in any case, some news that came out yesterday, which threw me off guard completely. It was pretty much a, I don't want to hum shocker, but it sort of was, put it this way. I didn't expect the Knicks and Leon Rose to pull off a trade at this point. I figured, you know what, he was going to hoard these picks. Keep in mind, he wasn't going to trade for a superstar or anything of that nature. But it's hard for me to say who got the better end of this trade, honestly. Hold on, let me see. Because, I mean, what it was, if you're not aware, the Raptors acquired basically R.J. Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley, while and a second round draft pick, while the Knicks acquired Anunoby, and I forgot the other two guys' names. Jalen Brunson, blah blah blah. Precious Achihuahua and Malike Flynn. Now, Chihuahua makes sense in the sense where, well, actually, Flynn makes more sense because of the fact of the way Mitch Robinson went down. So they needed someone basically to step up at this point, because like Hartenstein can't do much at this point. But I don't know who got the better of the deal. Honestly, R.J. Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley, two rightfully really good players. Thing is like the Knicks knew that Emmanuel Quickley being a restricted free agent, they're probably going to lose him. Might as well get something in return from it. And they figured, like, hey, let's get OG Anunoby. But the thing is like OG Anunoby is going to become a free agent as well, too. The thing is, the Knicks are confident they're going to resign him. Could be wrong. I have a feeling they're not. Unless they talk to him and they know full well, but who knows. Putting him with Brunson and Randall, he seems to complement them well. He's 26. He might do really well. But from my perspective, I think the Knicks made a mistake. I honestly think they made a mistake. Why? Here's the reason why. I think Barrett was not in the proper format of how he was being utilized. And in this situation, I think he's 23, so he has plenty of room to grow. I think the fact is because you had Randall there, that's why R.J. Barrett became that secondary or third role now, because of the fact that Brunson's there as well, too. I honestly believe the Knicks should have traded Randall. Randall is good, but Randall is not the one that's going to be the face of the Knicks. You've got to trade him. Brunson, not a superstar, not an all-star, but just above that all-star level. Basically like a tier. If you had 3 tiers, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 all-stars, he's more of a tier 3 all-star. Just like he was Robin to the Batman of Luka Doncic. He needs a Batman, and Randall is not that Batman. Randall is also Robin as well too. These are 2 secondary players that pretty much complement a superstar. I think Barrett could have been that superstar, or maybe he could have been not superstar level for all we know. The only other aspect I'm thinking of is more so that I think the Knicks give up too much for OG because, put it this way, you had Barrett and you had Emmanuel Quickly, and you traded them off. These were the same 2 players that Utah were asking for Donovan Mitchell. The Knicks could have gotten Donovan Mitchell for RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly. OG Anunoby. He's not Donovan Mitchell, put it that way. Unless Anunoby starts going crazy and becomes that next level superstar, it's not happening. The Knicks made a mistake already with Obi Toppin when they had a chance to get Halliburton. They screwed it up. You saw what he did yesterday with the Knicks. The Knicks had the opportunity. They screwed it up. I have a feeling this is going to blow up the Knicks' face to the point where you're going to see RJ Barrett thrive with Toronto. And the reason why is because of the fact that it's the way their coach plays. I don't want to take anything away from Tom Thibodeau, but the problem is Tibbs has a natural selection of how he coaches. Yes, he had Jalen Rose. Yes, he had Jimmy Butler. Butler thrived under him, and it shows how well he was. I thought maybe by having Tibbs, Butler would have came to the Knicks. It didn't happen. Donovan Mitchell coming to the Knicks under Thibodeau with Brunson, I think that would have been the 1-2 punch that you had, like similar to what was with Earl DePearl Monroe and Clyde Frazier, that they could have used. It could have been that same situation at that point, and it could have lasted for a good couple of years at least, for sure. So I know the Knicks are not planning to sign anyone at the end of this year outside of OG, because the fact is there's no real superstars for this year. You're waiting for 2025 basically, free agency. But I think what the Knicks traded for was pretty much for defense, and I think they gave up too much for that defensive player. You gave away the second draft pick, which is pretty much going to be a late first rounder anyways. It's the 31st or 32nd draft pick, which is pretty much like a late first rounder. Now, granted, this draft class is very weak, so it made sense for the Knicks to go ahead and trade it off. But this is what the Knicks could have done to have gotten Donovan Mitchell. They didn't. And so I'm thinking this is something that the Knicks gave up too much for. Now, the one thing is OG Anunoby, it's his agency is CAA, and his agent happens to be son of Leon Rose, who was also the head of CAA's basketball operations. It seems like Rose is doing everything he can to get CAA's players to the Knicks. I don't think he's looking out for the Knicks themselves entirely. And that's the problem, I think, is where we have an issue. I think we need a new GM. Let's put it this way. I think we need a new GM. Rios is not that GM. He's hoarding these first-round draft picks. Could have traded for some serious superstars last year. Didn't. He's hoarding them. And it's more of a case of we're not going to do anything about it. And I think the Knicks scouting is not that great. If it was, we would have taken Toppin. We would have taken Halliburton. Nicotilina would not have been drafted. Unfortunately, it would have been I forgot the guy that was in that draft class that the Knicks could have gotten instead of Nicotilina at that point. RJ Barrett, I have a feeling he's going to be you're going to see him on that tier of the cusp of just a tier 1 to tier 2 all-star. Just on the top level of the tier 2, getting on the cusp of the tier 1 all-star. Not the superstar level, but on the tier 1 all-star level, basically. I think we're going to see him go to there. Because we saw how he did with the Canadian team, basically, when they did the World Basketball League. I think he's going to come back and show what it is. And I think Toronto pretty much got the steal of the century. Not only of getting RJ Barrett, but Emmanuel quickly too for practically nothing. They didn't even give up any draft picks. The Knicks gave up a draft pick. The Knicks got nothing back in return except for OG. And honestly, I think they paid too much. It was too high of a price. Quite honestly, it was too high of a price. I hate to say this, but like I being a longtime Knicks fan, when Carmelo Anthony came to the Knicks, I was all happy about it. But I realized we gave up too much to bring him on board. When we could have just waited, if we waited another year, we could have just signed him for free, in free agency, and still had those draft picks. I'm not sure what's going to happen this year. It'll be interesting to see how that works out. The Knicks, they're playing the Rams right now as we speak. Honestly, as a Giants fan, I don't really care at this point. It's you don't have a quarterback. Honestly, do I hope for them to go to 5-12? I do. Why? Because maybe they can use that draft pick and trade for a future first round draft pick, like the way the Bears did. Now they have the number 1 draft pick, most likely, and probably the number 3 draft pick in this year's draft. Probably going to trade as well too because I don't think they need a quarterback. I think Fields is good enough. I don't think they need a quarterback. I think they could use that to draft some serious capital, get some more draft capital in result of that. Now yesterday's game with the Lions and Cowboys. Yeah, the Lions were robbed. Put it that way. But they had 2 more chances. They literally had 2 more chances to go in for that 2-pointer. They didn't. Honestly, I think they should have just gone for the field goal, go for the tie, and then see if they're gone into the overtime and see what happens there. But I think he wasn't too confident in the way Goff was going about that. Maybe Goff did give up a couple of interceptions. He wasn't throwing so well. The fact that the Lions were still in it was pretty impressive. I think, if the Lions had gone for the field goal and gone to overtime, I think the Lions could have probably won it. But that's neither here nor there. But the thing is, I'll admit, all the tapes show the ref was told 68 was going to be eligible. Even you had Goff telling Decker, go tell the ref, you're going to be eligible. He did. He runs up to him. And then for some reason, he sees 70 running up to him. I'm like, 70's not saying anything. And so he probably assumed 70 was eligible and 68 wasn't. I don't know. But in any case, I think the Lions were definitely robbed. It seems like this year, I hate to say this, but this year, the officiating is costing a lot of games. And these are like crucial calls that are affecting the outcome of the game. It shouldn't be, but it is. And it's a sad state right now. And I think the NFL has to work on this a little bit and figure out how to make this better. Because that's what instant replay was brought on board for, but I think you've got to have a consortium of from the home office headquarters, basically of officials, hey, look, you did it wrong. It shows otherwise. But in any case, and then of course back to the Giants. I'll say it once. I won't stop saying until he proves me otherwise, which I hope he would, but he hasn't. Daniel Jones was a mistake for the Giants to sign. I said they should have gone for Baker Mayfield. People scoffed at me for saying Baker Mayfield. Look what's happened. Look what he's doing with the Tampa Bay Bucks. He's bringing him. He has a chance to bring him into the playoffs. He went lights out with the Packers. And everyone's like, oh well, no, it's DeVito. DeVito is not Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield has the talent to show otherwise, and he's showing it here. I think if he was with Dable, I think he'd be lights out, unbelievable. Granted, now I don't know if he didn't have the same wide receiving cores that he has at Tampa Bay, but Brady pretty much built up. But put Daniel Jones in that team on the Tampa Bay Bucks, I have a feeling Tampa Bay's not in the playoffs. I don't know. Prove me otherwise. Daniel Jones. Prove me otherwise. But if you haven't, forget it. It's interesting as well too. The XFL, which is, Vince McMahon and now Dwayne Johnson are merging with the USFL, calling it themselves the UFL. I don't think that's anything big there to see at that point. Um, yeah, I don't know what else to say. I was just putting much a live here basically to show that, hey, my final live for the year of 2023. I could probably stream um, around New Year's Day as well too, just before, New Year's Eve. It is New Year's Eve, but just before it hits midnight, I could probably stream as well too. But probably not going to be doing anything much anyways. But yeah, might as well. I could, in theory. But in any case, um, let's put it this way. Also, Joe Flacco. Who knew he still had it in him? This would be utterly amazing if the Browns go to the Super Bowl because of Flacco. And if he does this over the Ravens, even sweeter victory at that point too for Flacco. Remember the Jets cut him. Giants had a chance too. They didn't. Um, the Russell Wilson thing, you look for him to get cut honestly because he's going to get cut for sure. This is Peyton basically needing to know that Sean Payton basically needing wiggle room to get some more players into Denver to make them much more competitive next year. And of course, hats off to Jimmy Johnson for being a part of the Ring of Honor. Uh, Deservedly so. I mean, the man made the Cowboys, the '90s team Cowboys. Basically, he made them. Anyone that came after pretty much inherited what Jimmy Johnson built. And from that situation, Jimmy Johnson knew what he was doing. He should have been there, rightfully so, from the beginning. I think Jerry Jones finally recognized it, and he was like, "Oh, you know what? I'm getting too old. I might as well." That or the fact that he needed people to come on board with the Dallas fan base to bring on board, knowing the full well that Jimmy Johnson will be the part of the Ring of Honor. Yeah, I don't know. With that, I'll leave it at that. Let's see what happens in 2024. Um, I'll probably do something more. Hopefully, my channel will grow even more. Maybe I might hit the 1,000 mark on this one. Granted, it might be a little bit harder because I've had a couple of strikes against me, but that was more of a case because I was showing some, copyrighted material, which I didn't even realize, or I did realize, but whatever it may be. I also got one where it's like, hey, your channel's like showing negative tones. I'm like, huh? I'm just like saying the news, basically. I was like, how's it different from the news? But in any case, yeah. And, of course, I'll be posting up shorts, of course, more and more. If you've seen my shorts lately, as of late, it's showing more of dad jokes, puns, bad puns. I'll post up more of those as well, too. Might as well. I mean, give a chuckle or, some sort of smile to your face for the day, basically. I'm hoping that works out in that situation. But with that, yeah, I'll leave it at that. Again, leave your comments in the comment section once this video becomes permanent in YouTube. I do read my comments and I do respond to them. And of course, again, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe or follow on the Twitch. I would love it to grow this channel even more proper. And again, please leave a comment and let me know what I should do to make my channel much more better, much more receptive, and much more intriguing for you the viewers. But with that, I'll leave it at that. Unfiltered, unedited, and